Hey, Martin Roberts here. Well, I thought it was about time I did a property market review as we teeter carefully out of lockdown and into whatever the world is that awaits us. One of the things that I get asked more than any other at the moment is what is going to happen to property prices. And it's obviously very important to all of us. But I just want to, before I say anything else, take you back to the main thing, which that is if you're in the process of doing a property transaction, then it's going to matter. But if you're just sitting there and not, then don't worry about it too much, because whatever happens, up, down, you only either make a profit or lose money when you actually do a transaction. So if you're not intending to do a transaction, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Let the world take a few turns and see where we are at that point. But if you are in the process of thinking about doing a property transaction, or thinking about is now a good time to look for opportunities, well, I'd say absolutely it's worth just assessing where we are. And don't forget, I run property training courses in conjunction with Asset Academy, and there's lots and lots of information on there. Courses that we do, online courses, as well as face-to-face courses, which will be restarting again, hopefully in the not too distant future. You can also find that stuff on martinrobertspropertyeducation.com. But find out and train yourselves. That's the most important thing, because if you know how to make money in any market conditions, whether the market is going up or market's going down, then it doesn't really matter. And I think it's just almost a sense of wanting a bit of slight security in a world where we've all been made to feel very, very insecure, because it came out of nowhere. It had more of a dramatic effect than any of us could have predicted. And I think right now it's all that sense of, please, can I just have something which makes you feel a little bit like there is some normality remaining, or returning rather. So let's just have a quick look at what's happened. Remember, the property market went into lockdown like we did, all right? No transactions were happening pretty much during the time when it was all the serious lockdown. And then, a few weeks ago, estate agents were allowed to reopen and the market opened up again. Now, I think that was a good thing. I think that was obviously inconvenient for anyone who's in the process of buying or selling, but actually what it stopped was knee-jerk reaction. So as a result of that, I actually think we're in a better situation than we would have been. I think if just people had been allowed to do transactions, I think we might have found ourselves going into a bit of a very, very choppy waters. But as it is, we were all allowed to take a bit of a breather, and also a lot of pent-up demand was created. So as we come out of that now, the anecdotal evidence from both estate agents and also from some of the online auctions which are taking place are that things are very, very busy, and busy equals, property prices not necessarily dropping through the floor as some people fear. Now, there are people out there who are saying, are we going to see a 10, 20, 25% drop in property prices? And I just come back to the fundamentals that there aren't enough houses for people to live in, and yes, sure, if the whole economy in general goes into some massive freefall, and of course we don't know what the longer term picture is in terms of global economy, but on the assumption that the people who can do what they need to do to make sure that it doesn't completely fall apart, then I think the intrinsics remain. People need places to live, and property as a thing to invest in remains, in my eyes, one of the safest things you're going to put your money into. And even if you bought at the height just before the last property market crash, your property most likely is worth much more than it was when you bought it, even though soon after it crashed. So if you look at property as a medium to long-term investment rather than just a short-term opportunity, then I think you can be a bit more reflective on the positivity. In terms of making the most of some opportunities out there, the reality is that property markets don't like uncertainty. So there may well be opportunities for those people who know what they're doing, as in they've been trained to do it properly, to spot opportunities that are out there. And you might be in a situation where you could actually get hold of some good deals as a result of the slight uncertainty which is out there. But it all comes down to knowing what to look for and how to find the best deals, and then how to finance those deals. And that's exactly what we do at Asset Academy. We teach people on the training courses which I do, the Martin Roberts Making Money from Property, and other courses which Asset do, teach them how to invest in property successfully. So definitely check them out. And in the meantime, try not to worry too much about the situation. Let's let the world take a few turns, and I think we will look back in a few weeks, a few months time, and we will see that any dips in the market were just a temporary dip in what has been, for the last goodness knows how many years, an upward slope for property prices. But there are opportunities there. Make the most of them with our help.